What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Wall. I'll be your host today. My name is Bugs with my girl. So, how you say so?
Doing it, learning your ways to go back and forth.
Always get it wrong. Always get it wrong. Yes. Today we're just doing a quick review of the Bad Batch season 2, episode 9. This one's called The Crossing, which is a kind of the next episode from the fantastic mid-season double feature episode, where we had Palpatine and all kinds of drama in the Senate and stuff. And this is really dealing with kind of Omega's handling of Echo leaving the Bad Batch. What are your kind of overall thoughts on this episode before we give it a quick breakdown?
This was back to being like just a normal Bad Batch episode. They're back to working for Sid, so it's, I guess, not as like a lower tier as some of the other of just Bad Batch focused episodes that we've had this season, but it's still like after the highs of last week, it's like okay, now we're back to going to regular episodes, and we'll probably get another high later in the season.
Yeah, it was definitely a side mission. There's been some excellent episodes this season, but a lot of side missions or fillers, if you will. This was definitely one of them. Some character development, some okay action, I guess. A lot of family themes I felt in this episode. Give maybe kids watching, life lessons as Star Wars does, and also adults as well. Which is fair enough. I thought the music was really good in this episode. It kind of alluded like a Western vibe. Seeing the
Yeah.
shots of like that valley or some kind of badlands, and then going into the like Lion King part of the episode. I did really like the music, but yeah, basically the team kind of tackle a risky mission in a hostile world, and we see they here there to basically extract something for Sid, refine it as well, and during kind of the beginning part of that, the ship gets stolen. As they're going through, we see Omega really in her feelings about Echo, missing, and the team also look and feel like there's a missing part of it as well. Really compliments them, and I felt like Echo was the emotional support for her in the team, because obviously she's a grown girl in that team, and she hasn't got that emotional support because they're soldiers. They're not really too thoughtful of a young girl's feelings and stuff going through it. Yeah, what are your thoughts about Omega's emotions about Echo leaving and their situation? Being one man short.
Yeah, you definitely feel Echo gone. They even mention it too, the fact that they're a man down. They don't have like the extra person to go into the cave with them to extract the, I think it's called Ipsium. I'm not
Mm.
100% sure on that. Which is explosive before you refine it. So there's dangerous there. You still need people to look out because apparently there's raiders, which I don't know if that person that stole the ship was a raider, if it was someone else. We'll probably find out next episode. Um, but yeah, she's in her feelings. She's not taking it well. The Bad Batch is kind of like a found family. Is really for her more than anyone else. And those are her brothers, and she has a missing piece, and she's just not handling it well at all. And I agree with you too. The music right off the bat, I wrote that in my notes. Like, this sounds really good.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, there were a lot of close-ups of the ship. For some reason, at the beginning of the episode, I didn't know why. Obviously, we saw because it'd get
Mhm.
stolen later, and yeah, you can't really tell if it's a kind of boy or girl or it's an alien. And I mean, you saw its skin a little bit. It looks like a kind of a youngster. But yeah, the ship gets stolen, and then they have to kind of find a way off the planet. So they obviously refine extract the sorry, what was it called? I keep wanting to say
Ipsium.
coaxium. Ipsium, yes. Coaxium, I think from Solo, right? But
Yeah.
yeah,
It
Ipsium
might be
and
like similar.
true, yeah, explosive and stuff. So yeah, they obviously extract some and then kind of trek across this kind of desert almost, or some kind of badland. Kind of, I was getting Western vibes, and then you come to a kind of Lion King moment where they're kind of escaping from a stampede, and they kind of lose the. I was literally going to say coaxium again. They lose I'm going to
Ipsium.
call it coaxium. No, I'm going to call it
Ipsium.
coaxium. Yeah, and they do lose it, and obviously they have to go inside a cave, and all this time we see, for me, we saw her kind of, we're seeing a lot of tech skills. It's really kind of his episode, him and Omega's, where he's really developed as an all-rounder. Obviously, even that, well, obviously at the end, emotionally as well, he's developing. Saying he still has feelings. I just don't. I'm introverted. I just don't kind of portray them the way you do. Kind of, please understand that. I'm a soldier and stuff. So, yeah, I got that, and a lot of people watching might, be introverts as well. So, I kind of respected that in a way. So, but anyway, yeah, they go back to the cave that they're in. They're kind of trapped and they have to find a way through. But up to this point, the Lion King moment and everything, and starting to see Echo, um, and his, sorry, not Echo, Tech, and his behavior with Omega. What are your thoughts up until this point?
Yeah, it seemed a little bit like Tech was annoyed with Omega.
Mm,
And I don't know, when I was watching it, I was just like, Boggs is probably like, yes, Tech, I agree with you.
mm,
um, but I kind of read Tech very much read, and I don't know if you kind of as if he was like on the spectrum, and I've worked with
maybe. Mm,
people who, like, I used to be a counselor for autistic kids, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't, I forget, I process things differently than you is like the words that he used, and that was like gave me like oh, that's the way someone who's like on the spectrum would speak or say, like, to someone, be like, hey, I don't process emotions the same way you do. So I was like, I wonder if they're trying to code that for kids who are on the spectrum who might be watching this and be like, oh, I'm like Tech, I don't process things the same way. So I saw that in kind of Tech's portrayal, and I liked that he had that conversation with Omega, and that he's like, "Oh, I noticed that you're," when they were coming up with the idea of the Ipsium, like, what if we use it to blow up to get ourselves out of this cave, kind of thing. The realizing Omega's talents, and even though he was annoyed with her earlier, going, "Okay, yeah, no, you do you pretty much."
also noticed Hunter's abilities as well. Him being
Hmm.
just slightly kind of foreseeing any danger. Like a hunter, I guess, like
Yeah,
using his skill sets to, or seeing it happen, where he identifies something wrong, or can predict things before they happen. Sometimes that's like his. I feel like they all got, like
yeah,
enhanced, not powers or abilities in a way.
yeah,
Whether it's text, whether it's intelligence, obviously Wrecker strength, Hunter's, foresight, if you will, and obviously Crosshair's got the kind of best shot. But we see obviously later on, as they're trying to escape from the cave, kind of Omega goes running off again and gets them in trouble,
yep.
kind of. But she finds a way out
I want
in
to be by
in the end.
myself.
Yes, she's obviously upset. She goes off. She finds some more of the thing. Correct. So yeah, coaxium.
Ipsium.
Yes, and yeah, she refines them. Obviously, Tech trusts her to do so because she was quite good at it. And then they kind of fall through in some water area. They kind of swim out. The others join and they kind of shoot their way, shoot some Ipsium to cause an explosion and find a way out. But yeah, that also kind of confirmed Echo. Echo might be the kind of next best shot after Crosshair. I thought that maybe that might come in to play in some further episodes where we saw, because obviously I think he said to Wrecker that no, it has to be quite precise, meaning that maybe Wrecker's not a good shot. Obviously, Hunter didn't do it, neither Omega. So I thought maybe that's a hint of some theme in some potential future episodes. And then yeah, they get out and they call Sid for help. Sid declines, and this kind
Right?
of, yeah, even though she sent them there and they've helped her out a lot, this really made me confirm the distrust for Sid as a character.
Yeah.
Like she kind of clearly uses people to get what she wants and drops them. I mean, we'll see what's going to happen, but she seems like she can't be trusted now at this point, whether she saves them or not. So, and that's it. That it's clearly a part one of this arc. But what are your overall thoughts of the episode and the ending and Sid as well?
Yeah, we have I was about to say Echo Tech. We have
Mm.
Tech say to Omega, "We'll figure it out like we always do," and then Omega repeats that later, like when Wrecker's like, "Well,
Mm.
what do we do now?" And I kind of like that because you're seeing her get closer, I guess, to each Bad Batch member. Because she was very close to Hunter in the first season, and it seemed like she was getting close to Echo in this season. So I guess, and her and Wrecker always got along because Wrecker's kind of like a little kid to himself. So I guess like Tech was the last one to like really get close to her in a sense. So I like seeing that. Yeah, Sid is scum. When you have scum and villainy, she is scum. And I don't trust her, and I haven't trusted her since I first saw her. So I also, with Wanda Sykes' character that we only saw for like a very short bit, I wonder if that's going to play anything with the way Sid is. If Wanda Sykes' character ends up being like Sid or better than Sid, I keep thinking about those two. Um, but all in all, it was a decent episode. It was just a regular Bad Batch episode, probably one that my niece enjoyed. I haven't talked to her about it yet, uh, but she loves watching the show and other cartoon Star Wars stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely not as dense as the previous episode. No,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we had Palpatine in the last episode. None of the Senate, no Crosshair, still no Cody, Rex as well. Obviously, none of them were in this, just a kind of side mission, but definitely filler, or came across like a filler side mission. Which doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not as intriguing as what it could be or what you're hoping to be when you're waiting at a long week and then it comes on a Wednesday and it's like, oh, it's just a filler. But yeah, hopefully it's a stronger arc and it picks up in the next few episodes. But yeah, we'll be here to review it next week. Episode 10 of the Bad Batch. But thanks everyone for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of the episode, and we'll catch you on the next review.